Good morning from sunny Miami, everyone. I am very lucky that I have an amazing guest today for you guys. First of all, I hope everyone had a fantastic start into the new year. Let's make this the most creative and strong year for all of us. And I am lucky to know this beautiful guest today for her entire life. And so this is my own daughter, Dorsa Afsharjavan, with Dorsa Corp. So let me bring Dorsa on board here. Hi, Dorsa. Um, Give me 1 second. Wait. Me and my skills here. I'm gonna have Dorsa here shortly. And she joined. I should be a little patient. I should not press the button again per my brother's advice. Good
Hello.
morning, sunshine. How are
Good
you?
morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy
Um,
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you too.
I'm very excited about our conversation today, and um, I was trying to prepare for it, but then I figured, you know what? I think I know this guest for a long time. So here we are. This is your first IG live, and it still feels like it is my first IG live too. Every time I have it, I'm like, oh my gosh. But so yeah, I would love for everyone to know what you're doing and how we started off together, and we are still working on projects together. We just recently, our last project was the Palm Springs Mod Met design house that we did together. You were my project manager, my incredible project manager, and here we are. We're here to share your knowledge with everyone.
My knowledge. Well, yeah. How far back do we go? I mean, I think we've been working together for a long time. Um,
Yes.
since as long as I can remember, since I was a kid, since I was a teenager. So you've always had your own company and your own business. So I got to learn a lot through childhood, just being around you and your environment with your clients and your networking and everything that you've been doing for 30 plus years, basically. And then, yeah, in 2018 is when we kind of collaborated officially for the first time, I guess, on paper, and that was to create platform together here in
And you
Miami. And
worked
so,
very hard on that project together with me for sure. I won't ever forget. Even though
yes,
we had a lot of fun together too, but our nightcaps here at the mini bar.
I know that was a very extreme experience, but it was good. I mean, we both learned a lot. I learned a lot, of course, about opening a gallery space, but mostly about entrepreneurship in general and starting a business from scratch and doing everything from a business plan to permitting to execution, lawyers. I mean, finance. It was all like a crash course MBA for me opening platform
Yes,
with you. Um,
thank you.
which was it was had its challenges, but it's also fun, and we learned a lot. So I think I'm very
We
grateful for that
did, yeah.
experience together. And then simultaneously, you still had design projects that you were working on at the same time, and I got more involved in your design work, which at the time was mostly residential projects, which was different from what my career was at the time. But the more I got into the residential projects with you, the more I realized, wow, like I love how much quicker projects develop and come to fruition when you're working on a residential scale compared to
Yes.
the projects I was doing at the time were
And
much
and
larger
let's not,
planning.
yeah, let's not forget your implementation of how to be more efficient, more effective on design projects or projects in general, hence you actually getting your additional degree this past year for project management, and you created this Bible for me, which is an incredible Bible you have come up with, and which I think every interior designer or any project should actually have that. So maybe you can also talk about that too.
Yeah, I mean, so growing up as your daughter, I saw the challenges that come along with running an interior design company. And so,
Well, let me just
yeah,
jump in because my company actually started just for fun. I wasn't even doing this to open up a company or to become an entrepreneur, honestly. I just did it out of passion. I did, design projects for friends, family, and then it was just out of passion. It really started in our own basement, and
Mhm.
from one project to the other, one referral to the other, it became an actual business, which I was definitely not prepared for.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, I know. And I think a lot of people are in the same scenario. I think a lot of people look at interior design as this really fun field and a very creative environment. And it's like it seems very fabulous and luxurious and really nice, but it's a business at the end, and there's a lot of logistics that go into it and a lot of time and money, both
Coordination.
from the
Yeah.
exactly. And so I think from that end, I was able to help you kind of structure your company a little bit better, and hopefully I can take that structure to other people. And that's currently what I'm doing for my own projects and for my own clients, as an owner's rep, so helping them structure their project, as small or as big as it may be. You have like some foundations in place to keep it moving forward on like a more direct track. So
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite projects currently? Where are they?
So the most exciting project at the moment, I mean, I have a lot of projects, but the one project in specific that I've been working on for some time now is a project in Southold in New York. And so that's my clients are lovely, and I'm hoping we can work together to build their dream home for them. And it's like a renovation, it's an expansion. There's several phases to it. It's a little bit complex. We've been working on the design, and this project is similar to what we have been doing, where we have our projects kind of all over the place and remote. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, how do you work on projects in New York if you're in Miami or if you're somewhere else? And I'm just like, well, it's a lot of organization and it's a lot of communication,
Yes.
and so on and so forth. But so yeah, this
Yeah,
project.
communication is the key, and which you're amazing at. I mean, your skills are, beyond. And you have definitely spoiled me with that because, you are the most efficient creature, beautiful creature in everything possible, not just in your professional life, but also in your personal life. You're very, very efficient. You're a big planner,
Mhm.
obviously, and which I'm not, as we know. But I always admire your skills with that, and you do it so seamlessly. Like, I don't even know how you wing it, but everything is done so perfectly. Always attention to details that you have is incredible, and I admire you for that, and I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. No, I mean, I think it's all about the details, right? So
Yes.
there's a vision. You're an incredible visionary, and you have this vision in your mind when you look at a project or a problem and you solve it very creatively. And then it comes down to the little minuscule details to execute it the way you have it in here, like in your head. So
Yeah.
it's all a collaboration, and beyond the two of us, there's like hundreds and thousands of people involved in a single project. I mean, there's the vendors, there's the builders, there's the subs, there's the contractors,
Mhm.
there are engineers, permitting. Like there's like so many eyes and hands touch a project, from the idea that's in the client's head when they purchase a property until the day that they move in and they're
Yeah.
spending Christmas with their family in front of the fireplace.
And
So
and where we come into the picture is, we really, because there's also a lot of challenges and a lot of issues that we have to deal with. But the most important thing is to find the right solution for our clients, and then present them with the solution before making them nervous. We always go through that stage, the stress, and how do we present this to the client? Oh my gosh, like, this is a disaster. But then we have to stay calm and kind of keep it very zen,
I
and
know,
then find a solution, and then we go to the clients, and that's really it's very valuable for the
I
clients, I
know.
think.
I mean, even yesterday, a previous client of mine messaged me with like it could be seen as like catastrophic news to the project, basically. And I was like, you know what?
Parsa.
There's
Parsa just joined.
we can come in. Hi, Bars. I'm in your studio.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, there's always a
Yes.
solution. So don't give up faith and hope. There's a way around it. Just we need to kind of think outside the box and give it another approach from another perspective, and let's see where we
Yeah.
land. So It's all
exactly.
problem solving.
And the thing is, I feel like a lot of times with interior design, clients think, okay, they have to let the construction finish, the contractor come and go, and then they want to hire the designer. But I feel like, if we get involved from the get-go, from the very first day that a client wants to start a project, this is exactly the time where we need to sit down. We need to kind of figure out what their lifestyle is, how we can improve their
Hmm.
lifestyles, because you and I, we do a lot of custom work together, and
Hmm.
we don't just furnish a place. It's really, we go many
Yeah,
layers
yeah.
deeper into the client's lifestyles, and it's valuable to know that. Like actually yesterday when I met with my clients, and they're doing it just right. They just purchased this pre-construction, beautiful property here in Miami, where
Hmm.
actually I hope that we can work on that project together too. First of all, they have a huge terrace. It's a 1,000 square foot terrace only, and I'm sure you can do your magic with that project as well. But also, there are so many details that even a developer, does, that we can modify to make everything
Maximize
so much, maximize the
the
space and
experience. Yeah.
experience and everything. I mean, there's so many details involved, and I think the best time. So when is the best time for you to jump into a project for what you do?
I mean, so this is like a very unique example, but clients of yours, ours, when they were selling their home in
Hmm.
DC, they were actually meeting with their real estate agent to look for their new space.
Hmm.
And I went with them. I
Yes.
happened to be in town and they asked me to please join them to meet with the agent and go. They had already seen a few
Hmm.
homes and they had their mind set on one home specifically. And as so I'm not even acting as the designer. I've been managing their projects for
Yeah.
many years. But as soon as I walked in, I was like, this is not the house that they're looking for. It doesn't go along with their vision. It doesn't go along with their point in their lives at that moment. Like we obviously I was familiar with the clients. I know their background. I know them on a personal level.
Right.
So it's not like a new client
But
that just calls me and says, "Hey,
we have worked
let's
on
go house
other
shopping
projects
together."
with them.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
exactly. But from that point, I realized, okay, if they go with house A, they're going to need to do X, Y, and Z changes to the house.
Hmm.
And they don't want to do X, Y, and Z changes to a house. They want to move into a house and be comfortable and just make it their home. And then together we went to see a few other homes, and then we walked into the third one, and I was like, this
This
is
is
it. This is this is
it
the
felt
one,
right.
It
Yeah.
felt right because it had the little minuscule details that I know they like and they would be happy to be living with
Right.
versus the other one where I mean, I knew it would be more work for us. It would be more of a project for us. It would be more of an income for us if they had bought the first house and had to do a full renovation project. But
Yes.
as their rep or as someone who has their best interest,
Hmm.
that wasn't their home. It wasn't the right choice
Exactly.
for them. And so I'm very happy that I got to experience that with them and kind of recognize my own like benefit or my
Instinct and
own,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
or kind of see where I have this talent or this eye or how I can be of help to people
Yeah.
um, as a
And another big
profession.
help was, this last project that we just did with them, where we went in because, I had started working with the client for many years. So it's like it was you know, the 10th project we did together with them, 10th property. So we can actually also help them with the whole process of what are the pieces that we can act, because I love to work with existing elements because everything we own has a story and there's
Mm-hmm.
a reason for it. So I like to continue the story instead of working with a blank canvas and say, okay, we're going to get rid of everything, let's just buy everything new. That's, to me, is not challenging enough. I love the process, and I think it's valuable to the clients too, to hold on to certain things that we
Mm-hmm.
can help them with. So you and I, we actually took a trip to California. We kind of selected what goes where, and it's very important, and
Yeah, I mean,
it
so
takes a
that
lot of organization on your end as a client rep, and project manager to kind of put the whole spreadsheet in with
Yeah.
all the items, this bed from this house goes to this house, and it was like a puzzle piece.
Well, so yeah, so this Palm Springs project that we wanted to speak about today, I'm sure, or
Yeah.
hopefully our friends have seen the photos and videos on social media so far, but the theme of this house was Mod Med, so modern Mediterranean. It's a house in Palm Springs, and it has this very open and flowy feeling to it. But what is amazing for me is that this project came to be. It was a very it was a COVID decision type of project.
Yeah.
The clients who were bi-coastal had to make a couple of decisions in terms of work and family and life, and so they ended up getting rid of one home on the West Coast, also getting rid of one home on the East Coast, and reconfiguring their lifestyle within the properties that they owned. And so it's crazy to think that the antique furniture from the very Asian inspired home in San Francisco is now living in this Mod Med
which was
vibe
supposed
and
to
scene.
go which was supposed to go to trash too. Some of the pieces
I
we
know.
saved them from the trash.
I mean, the guest bed that we stayed
Yeah.
in, the guest bed that we slept in,
Yes.
at one point we wanted to use that as a trellis in the garden of their San Francisco house to grow vines
Right.
all over it.
Uh-huh.
And so it's fun to see how we can be creative and save clients money, and also they have value, like they
Yes.
have a feeling towards the
Personal
pieces. They
value.
have, yeah, personal value to some of the pieces that they have owned in their previous homes, and so that was fun. I mean, that was the first
Yeah.
thing we did. I took a
Yeah.
piece of paper out and I went through my photos of all the
Yeah.
properties, and I said, okay, this is going to go from here. This is going to go from here. We put a spreadsheet together, sent it to the movers.
Yeah.
It
To
was
me,
fun.
actually, it's not just the value of the piece, it's also the energy of these pieces, because they have a story, because of the reason why they're there. It's important to really move this energy from one place to the other. Doesn't matter if it's in the same house or a different city, different projects, the inside, outside. I love to do that. And it's
Hmm.
and like you said, the Palm Springs project really, and I think photos and videos still don't make
I
justice.
know.
I think it's, when you step into this place, it really feels so great and comfortable, and very sensual space, and the mix of the styles works so well. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I thank you. I cannot thank you enough for helping out with this, collaborating with me on this project, and I look forward to many more to come.
Yeah, no, that was a great project, and we had a
Mhm.
great contractor who
Yeah.
worked with us in every step of the way, and the clients were amazing. They trusted us, and this was basically entirely remote. We went there twice,
Hmm.
so it was a almost fully remote project,
Yeah.
but it turned out really great, and the finishes you picked were amazing, and it was, I mean, it all worked very well together at the
Yeah,
end.
absolutely.
So
No.
yeah.
So also, I mean, I am proud to have a daughter who is a amazing professional. You have your own consulting company, Dorsa Corporation, and um, but obviously, as a family business that we started together, there's always challenges. But what's the most annoying part of working with me? I just want to know.
Oh God, I wasn't ready for that question. But
Just be you, and I'll be me, and I won't get.
I
No
think
matter what you say, I still love you always.
no, I think what's annoying, I don't know if the word is annoying or inspiring or frustrating. It's like all of these emotions at once, but you're so incredibly talented as a creative, as an artist. I mean, you really are. Last night I went out with friends who had just met you like 30 minutes before, and at the end of the night I was like, she's just an incredible artist.
Oh,
Like you're very
don't make me
talented.
cry
You
now, okay?
no, and it's not annoying, but you're so creative as an individual, as an artist, and you have such a good soul that it really is hard to get lost in the business side of things. I mean, you get lost in the numbers and the logistics because you
Yeah.
have this vision and you see it in your head and it's incredible, like you want to explode with it. Um,
Well,
but it
I
it
need a
takes time
business
and patience
partner.
to get it there.
That's who I need. I hope one day this one big business partner will come in. I'm just gonna actually put it out there now. Now the whole world knows
Yeah.
about it. But it is my biggest challenge, honestly, and I own it. I know it. I've known it from the day one,
Mm.
because again, I started my business as nothing. I wasn't even looking into it. And my very dear friend, after I got my degree, while raising you and Parsa, and I was home, I was teaching. Linguistics was my background and everything. So, and then the day I got my degree, uh, our dear friend from DC, she said, "There's an opening at Ethan Allen. You should go, apply." I said, "But I'm not interested in working. I'm just doing this for myself. And I love doing this." So I went and I got hired on the spot. So I was not ready for it. Even like after working with Ethan Allen, I realized, okay, I can do this on my own. I don't have to work for a big company where I don't see my kids. So I wanted to do it, when
Yeah.
we can do it all together, kind of. So, but it's very challenging. I mean, I always tell my interns that, what you really need to learn is the business side. It's not just interior design. It's,
Hmm.
if you want to open up your own company as an interior designer, there's so many things involved. It's not just going to people's homes and designing for them. So
Yeah.
it's very important. But you definitely have both. You have the artistic eye, the eye for details in every aspect possible, up to the spreadsheets,
Yeah, I
which
know.
I still get anxious looking at spreadsheets. I rather not even open them.
No, I love my spreadsheets. I mean, I would be lost without them.
And your notebooks. I love just flipping through your notebooks. And one thing that Daddy June, my dad, your grandpa, always wanted was to take notes. And I'm
Mm.
so happy that there is one person, well, Parsa too, actually. Parsa is a great note keeper. With his sketchbook, you probably see more sketches than notes.
Yeah.
Yours, there is a balance.
Hmm.
But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that in me yet, but I'm working on it. It's never too late.
One day at a time, baby
Yeah,
steps.
baby steps, exactly, baby steps. But
Mm.
I well, I mean, I'm not a good person behind the camera. I mean, I don't like it as much as in person, because I love people and I love the whole, touching feeling, and the whole vibe is different. So during the
Hmm.
pandemic, we started the podcast for platform, which was Iman's idea to do it. And then so I interviewed some of my incredible talents, and then it kind of went on the back burner. But this year, I think, you inspired me again to kind of do this in person, because we had our interview just a few weeks ago with Orchid.
Hmm.
It was a very casual thing at your beautiful apartment, Parsa Studio, with his painting in the background right now. So it's the whole in person has a much better impact, I
Hmm.
think. And I'm looking forward to have more podcast sessions where we invite the talents to platform and we can do a nice interview with them. But for now, I mean, it is a virtual world, so it's working out like that.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
What else do you want to tell us?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
You know, you and I, we thought, okay, I don't think we can actually prepare for this conversation,
Yeah.
but because everything really comes naturally. But uh, well, I feel like, you're another great value that you have for the clients is that you're a world traveler. You
Mhm.
studied in Europe. You have a sense for beauty, for history, for architecture, for details, and for different infrastructure, which is your technical work that you always work with. And I mean, you specialize now in pool designs,
Mhm.
outdoor pool, and well, you tell me what you love actually about what you do, and what are the specialties.
I mean, for me, honestly, I just love being part of the team that creates spaces for people. And the most rewarding part for me of course, like going and taking final photos and videos is great, and it's great for your website and Instagram and portfolio and so forth. But to be invited by a client to go to their son's birthday
Yeah.
party, and it's a pool party, and you see like 40 of their friends sitting there enjoying their time, there's a pizza truck and people are dancing and having a good time, like
I went
that's,
to
for me,
one with you
that is,
actually in the Hamptons, and I loved it. I mean, what better for a
oh yeah,
mom to see?
I think you were, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
I went there when the project wasn't even complete
yeah,
almost, but I went to one of their soccer games. You know, all the
exactly,
soccer parents were there, and they were all, talking about your work, and
yeah,
it was the most beautiful
no,
experience,
and that's,
definitely.
I mean, that's, it's, there's so many challenges that go in every day, and I'm learning every day, and it's just like a very beautiful growth experience for me having this company and this position.
Mhm.
But it makes it all worth it when I see the clients at the end of the day kind of enjoying their space and their sanctuary and their home and their families around. So that's special, and I love to work with people who value their spaces too. I mean, I went to a client's house when I was on Shelter Island a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't even there, but I drove by and I saw the little Christmas wreath on the back of his door,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's so
Well, you
cute, he
created
loves
a
his
home for
home.
them. You created
Yeah,
a home, yeah, and it feels good. It's very satisfying. That's what I love about what I do
yeah,
too. I mean, it's such a rewarding thing. Like, it's kind of like, it's a very thing, but it's kind of like giving birth. You feel like, okay, this is so painful, but then once you have your kids, and then you're okay with having another one. So I feel like, even with a design project, there's a lot of pain and suffering involved
yeah.
that most of the time the clients don't even feel it or see it, because like I said, we always present
You
them with the
filter it.
solutions. Yeah, we
Yeah.
filter so much, and the time that we spend behind the scenes is insane. It's not even, you can't even calculate the time for that. And I mean, now that, in the past, actually before you and I were working, you always said, why do you have to work on weekends, or why do you respond to your clients on weekends?
Well, so
But
I try to set some boundaries. I think boundaries are always important.
they
But
are
I
important, but then, when you're so passionate about what you do,
yeah.
you forget about the boundaries. For me, because I'm like, okay, because I look at the projects as if I mean, they are my own projects. Like, I feel like it's my own home,
Right.
and how would I react to a problem or whatever it is? Maybe not even a problem, but maybe even a nice delivery that's coming on a weekend. I want to be a part of it. I don't want to
Hmm.
wait until Monday, or a work day or work hours. It's you just kind of get drifted by your passion, kind of.
Right.
And but you definitely, that's another thing. That's why you're also very efficient. I remember, but then I don't act up on it. You always say, write your emails, but don't send them out, at random hours.
Yeah.
But it's, I definitely have learned so much from you, working with you, and it's such a
And the feeling
pleasure.
is mutual.
It's such a pleasure to work with each other, and of course there are always challenges. But just quickly, since we talked about the Palm Springs project,
Mhm.
well, what do you think was the most challenging part with that particular project? We had a few a few things, but
Yeah.
I
I
think it's
mean,
the cost, everything custom. You always tell
everything
me,
was
don't
custom.
do
I mean,
custom.
the project's been done for some time, but we're still waiting for custom outdoor furniture
Covers
covers coming from Mexico with fabric that we got somewhere else in the
from
world, and
from Italy, yes.
from Italy. So we're still waiting for those to get delivered, and
Yes.
it's a lot of custom work that often causes delays. But um, like you can only plan for it so far ahead, and a lot of the work that you do as a very creative individual and at this level of design is handmade and hand built. It's not like it's mass manufactured, and so it takes time.
Yes.
I mean, like a rug for another project, I was like, what is the delay? It's 2 months late. And she said, well, our main weaver was sick for like 3 weeks. Well, so if there's one weaver
I've
sitting
heard
in
that before too.
Germany weaving this rug, I guess, yeah, we have to wait
I
for
know.
it. But so it's but at the end of the day, you get what you want. And so it's a different type of craftsmanship that we're working with
Yeah.
on the projects together.
And hopefully
Um,
next time when I'm in Italy, you join me with visiting these factories, because now I really totally get it. Like, when there are only like one or two craftsmen who are
yeah,
working on a particular um, uh, uh, project design or parcels, it's always the weavers.
it's always the weavers.
But yeah, but then once you're there and you see how detailed work they're doing, and they're doing it with so much heart and passion, then you understand, okay, why is this delayed, or why is it super expensive? It's because of all of this. I mean, you can obviously buy a chair from God
Yeah,
knows where, and but it's for particular lifestyles. That's
yeah,
why
exactly.
we love to work with people who value a particular lifestyle and design.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But can you
But
believe
yeah,
our time is actually over? I
half an
don't even want
hour.
it to be over now. Just come on over. Come on over. We'll have a aperitivo soon. For now, it's the espresso.
For now, it's my hot water in the
You're always
what is it?
healthier than me too.
Positivity, please, my little mug.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have my cup from Italy that your home is where the heart is. So,
Mm,
well,
very,
cheers
very
to
cute.
us, to an
Cheers,
amazing
cheers
year ahead for you, and
for
a
you
lot
too.
of beautiful projects for you and your clients, and hopefully more collaborations with whoever we can collaborate with. You and I, we can collaborate with a lot of creatives and a lot of people in our industry. So the more the better, because together we're stronger.
Absolutely. Love
Yes,
you.
I
Thank you,
love you
Megan.
more. Love
All
you.
right. Cheers.
Ciao.
Take care.
Have a good day, my love.
Bye.
Bye bye. The challenge is what to do. All that.